Public Affairs and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, along with Fox News contributor Liz Peek. Great to see both of you.
You too.
It's not just going to be the Keystone XL Pipeline. It is going to be permitting reform. It is going to be unleashing in every imaginable way. Oh, and also lifting the ban on the LNG permits,
Yes.
the terminal
Yes.
permits.
And drilling on federal lands.
Yeah.
No, he intends to fully unleash America's great domestic energy production, which he did in the first term, which got America to be a net exporter of energy. So we're actually turning a profit based on the resources we have right here at home, and to energy independence, which we've never had before President Trump. He is absolutely right that so much of the inflation obviously is due to extraneous government spending and out of control government spending. But the price of everything you consume has energy built into it. So day one, when he announces the Keystone XL Pipeline, which, by the way, would be near completion right now if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris hadn't put a stop to it. But just even psychologically unleashing our great energy sector and announcing things like XL Pipeline, that is going to switch psychologically for most Americans economically and almost immediately start to bring prices down across the board.
And by the way, it's not just Americans who are going to benefit. He is going to be priming the pump for the world that is desperate to have some of this natural gas. Right. The green energy programs have not worked out well over the world. The windmills are not putting out the power that we need to generate the more energy that we need, particularly with AI and all of those data centers that require twice as much. President-elect Trump has said it's going to be twice as much energy as we need. They're going to need the natural gas, the liquefied natural gas that President Biden has been putting on hold with his pause on that program.
Yeah, natural gas, certainly. We have a 100-year supply of natural gas. We should be exporting tons of it. It was the most absurd idea to halt that and to not allow that to expand, because who did it benefit? Russia, Iran, all of our enemies around the world. It was really terrible. And by the way, it's also not good for the climate, because if you're exporting LNG to China, then they're presumably using less coal, burning less coal. So that's obviously very good for the climate. I think the Keystone, we have to kind of keep in mind, this is not going to be built anytime soon. This is symbolic. It's symbolic because, yeah, Biden did that the first day. At that point, it was going to be a very important conduit for tar sands oil to come down to the United States. Probably that isn't going to happen now. What can happen is what Dagan talked about, permitting. We have like 584 rigs running right now. During Trump's administration, it got up to 1,000, over 1,000 actually rigs running. We need to begin to replace that, because U.S. production could start to decline unless we have another big swap. Probably the number one thing that can happen over the next 5 years is to bring the Alaska Wildlife Refuge back on stream. That's 4 to 11 billion barrels of potential oil. That is the game changer.
By the way, we get 2 million barrels a day extra from the Gulf oil, according to McKinsey and Company.
Gulf
so
of
there's
Mexico.
a lot, Gulf of Mexico. So there's a lot of Gulf oil there too
there
that we
is.
haven't tapped into.
And they halted offshore drilling.
Yeah, right.
And just one other critical point, jobs. You know, you just ran that video of workers who were assigned to the XL pipeline and they were thrown out of work when Biden and Harris stopped it. You're going to have tens of thousands of jobs created in the construction of that pipeline. And other energy-related initiatives.
Senator Sullivan from Alaska was on with Larry Kudlow talking about doing this permitting reform through the budget reconciliation. And Mary Peltola, the Democrat congresswoman from Alaska, lost to the Republican. So, and it was because of the energy there. But let's move on to this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have funneled 65,000 foreign workers into blue-collar jobs, Liz. This is just in the 2025 fiscal year. But this has been a trend of where foreign-born workers are getting jobs in the U.S. while Americans are, they're losing jobs.
Yeah, it's just 800,000 foreign-born workers basically account for all the job growth under Joe Biden. It's the most amazing thing. Why in the world would they do this? There's some 7 million working-age men in America who are not in the job market. They're not looking for jobs. Some of it is a lack of training or education. Those are the people we should be trying to help, not bringing in more foreign. I mean, when we just have brought in 12 million people across our border, Why in the world would they be doing this? Honestly, I can't imagine. It's just incredible.
Monica, one thing that President Trump has talked about during his first term, of course he didn't get it through, was to switch to a merit-based immigration system where we don't take people who are going to displace American workers. We take people who have various skills that we need, and we don't take them unless they have those skills. One of them, by the way, that they should all have is the ability to speak English, which, of course, most of the illegal migrants here don't have, and it's a terrible impediment for them as well as the workforce they're in. But what about that goal of a merit-based immigration system?
Yeah, President Trump has talked about this for a very long time, and he's got a key ally on this in Elon Musk, who's an American citizen, came here legally. So President Trump has talked about illegal immigration, obviously, and all the things that we need to do to get a handle on that. But he wants to reform the legal immigration process as well, so that America is a golden magnet to attract top talent from around the world, but it is being done the right way. And that working in conjunction in a parallel track with shutting down the border, mass deportations of illegal immigrants who are welcome to come back to this country if they go through the legal process. That is going to be a huge boon for the U.S. economy.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's very popular. Polling done at the time that President Trump put out those proposals, people like this idea.
And law and order, getting back to law and order, doing things according to the law, not according to what rule you make up immediately to deal with all these
or
extra
what political
migrants.
agenda
At
play.
Yeah.
Yep. Nick Begich, that's his name.
Mark Begich.
Alaska.
Mark.
No, Nick.
Was it Nick?
Yep.
Sorry.
Nick Begich, Republican
Sorry,
from
Nick.
Alaska.
She knows.
See, I was having a brain cramp, but eventually,
It came out.
I shaked it
It
off.
happens, Dagan.
Good stuff, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.